Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me from Bangalore is Bharat Ramraj and also Rohit Juglan. What you're seeing on the screen is visuals from outside of the Chinnaswamy Stadium, where RCB take on Delhi Capitals tonight. But what we're going to talk about tonight is, of course, we'll get to talking about the match a bit later at the 6:30 p.m. show. But right now, we're talking about whether or not this is the best RCB team we have ever seen. And Boria Mujadar also joins us there. But Bharat, tell us about the mood outside of the Chinnaswamy. It looks like people are already lining up.
Yeah, it is building up somewhere near the stadium, near the main gate. It is building up. There is enough crowd. As the day progresses, as it becomes evening night, you will definitely get more people. Uh, there are a few clouds on the horizon, but almost like sun is playing hide and seek with us. Sometimes clouds are on the horizon, sometimes it is the sun. Hopefully, the rain will stay away right through the game, and we'll have a full match.
And I have to say this: the one team that you don't find tickets for is RCB. I need to get Bharat in. I remember that. I have promised Bharat that I will have to get some tickets done for him. This is one team; it's very difficult to get, boss. It's one of those franchises. 18 years you don't win anything, yet the fan base keeps growing. Rohit Juglan, what explains this? What explains this mad fan base that RCB has? Before I go back to Gargi and Bharat, this is fascinating, no? 18 years they have not won a trophy, but look at that fan base. Absolutely unbelievable fan base for RCB. Rohit Juglan.
I think Gureda, the first thing is obviously the presence of Virat Kohli. I think he himself holds everything as far as that Chinnaswamy Stadium is concerned. Remember many of the the jersey revealing events, many kind of events where you see crowd coming into the stadium, and then you see people just cheering for one name. Earlier it used to be Chris Gayle, AB de Villiers. Again, AB de Villiers have lot of fan following. We saw in the India South Africa games also that he is walking to bat in an India South Africa game at the 1K, and we are seeing crowd chanting his name. So it's not happened with any other cricketer in the world apart from AB de Villiers. Maybe a few words for Chris Gayle also, but nothing if you talk about any other cricketer in the world. So I think the fans, I think, love this team. They doesn't trophy. I won't say that doesn't matter to them, but the kind of cricket they are playing, since the very start, from the first season. Yes, the first season didn't went well their way, but onwards second season, then Virat Kohli from 2011 always been someone to look forward to. He's doing this for India. He's doing this to RCB. So I think he's the key factor. I really don't know that what will happen with RCB post Virat Kohli. But I think till the time Virat Kohli was there, he's associated with this team. As he always said that earlier it used to be many offers coming from various franchises, and he himself told in certain interviews that sometime I would also thought this, that there might be grass is greener on the other side if I can choose some other franchisee and win a title, but not anymore. So the loyalty is the biggest factor, Buryada, for the fans. That one man who's trying years after year after year after year. So we have to stand by him. We need to support him at any cost. So that's why seat capacity wise also, this is one of the smallest stadium in India, and that's why the ticket prices are always very high. But after that also, as you rightly said, that you can't see a single vacant seat inside a Chinnaswamy Stadium. So I think that's one thing to look forward to as far as going for any RCB game is concerned.
Gargi, question for you before I go back to Bharat. I mean, these are really nice visuals, though they've got stuck. But the question, these visuals are tremendous visuals. And the way Rohit said it very, very nicely. That there was a kind of emotion in what he was saying, that you want Virat Kohli to win. You just want this guy. I mean, Tendulkar waited for 22 years for a world trophy. You kind of wanted Tendulkar to finish off with it. In this generation, a Dhoni, Kohli, Rohit generation, Dhoni has it, Rohit has it, Kohli doesn't. You just want a Virat Kohli to have his hands on that IPL trophy. You kind of think, okay, this will actually help even the IPL brand. So, question for you, the same one: is this the best IPL, the RCB team? And secondly, is this kind of that special this thing? If RCB goes on and wins it, will it be that special moment even for the brand with Virat Kohli laying his hands on the trophy?
Look, cricket in India is always more than just about cricket. And when it comes to certain names in Indian cricket, when it comes to a Rohit Sharma, an MS Dhoni, a Virat Kohli, there are very, very strong feelings involved. And especially in the IPL, where, the entire brand of RCB is revolving around Virat Kohli, and that's how it always has been and always will be until Virat Kohli is playing. And look, when you take the example of a CSK, Dhoni isn't winning matches for CSK. He's lightning quick behind the wickets, but with the bat, he's not really having an impact. But people still want to see him bat. In fact, we all still want to see him bat. Every time there's a CSK match, we're all debating about whether or not Dhoni should come up the order. So clearly, when it is about the IPL, it's more about the emotions than just cricket. It's not about technicalities. It is about emotion. It is about unity. It is about fan wars and the love that fans have for certain players. And RCB is all about Virat Kohli. I mean, if you look at the visuals that are playing on the screen, point out one RCB jersey to me that is not number 18 Virat Kohli.
Very nicely said, Bharat. Somebody is asking, are you at Cubbon Park? Maybe you are. But Bharat, have you seen any other player? Is there even one Rajat Patidar jersey? He deserves it, man. Rajat Patidar is the best player of RCB. He is the most consistent player, at least in this season. But all these jerseys which we are seeing on screen, 18, 18, 18, 18. Bharat Ramraj, is there another brand? You know what? Because this is a serious point I'm going to ask you, Bharat. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. It was Michael Jordan. After Michael Jordan went away, the Chicago Bulls never became the same story. Chennai Super Kings, the fact that MS Dhoni is what he is, once he goes away, the brand will be hit. While it is Virat Kohli and RCB, you don't want to put all your eggs in the Virat Kohli basket. Bharat Ramraj, give me a sense and also your thoughts. Is this the best RCB team?
Oh, I only saw Virat Kohli number 18 only. Even when I was traveling in taxi about 15 minutes away from the stadium, there also I saw only number 18. So there is no other shirt. There was a time maybe when Glenn Maxwell was playing for RCB, you might have seen. I used to see maybe 2-3 shirts with Glenn Maxwell printed on back. AB de Villiers, even after he retired, maybe for 2-3 seasons, you would see AB de Villiers printed on back. But I don't think anyone else have seen with his name being printed on fans' back, and that includes the poor Rajat Patidar, who has been in a very good form for RCB last year, this year as well. I think he's the unsung hero of the RCB setup. Yes, a couple of times I asked a couple of questions maybe 2 weeks ago about Rajat Patidar, and people were ready to answer, but you won't see a Rajat Patidar shirt on a fans back. That is something. Name on a fans back. That is something I can
So, Bharat,
guarantee. Till now, I'm not.
will fans want KL Rahul to score? Or will they say, no, get out? Come on, KL Rahul, we need KL Rahul's wicket because it's an RCB's night. Can KL Rahul command any kind of fan loyalty? Will they want him to score tonight against RCB? Bharat Ramraj.
Yeah, maybe to some extent. One Ranji Trophy game I covered here. KL Rahul was definitely getting decent support. So if he plays for RCB, I think he can be a kind of brand, little bit of a brand value for RCB, but still no one comes. Obviously, we are close to Virat Kohli. I think RCB is about synonymous with Virat Kohli. CSK is synonymous with MS Dhoni. Outside of Kohli, it is difficult to think of RCB as a brand.
Okay, Rohit Juglan, breaking news coming in. Saurav Ganguly says if Dhoni has to continue to play for CSK, he has to be the captain because he, as a captain, is a different beast. Saurav Ganguly. He also goes to say home advantage in the IPL. Why not? But it depends from individual to individual. Shomik Chakraborty has sent the videos. Gargi Raut will put them out. But Rohit Juglan react. MS Dhoni as captain. That's the only way forward for CSK because he's a different beast and also home advantage. Ganguly supporting home advantage, which should give KKR fans a big, big fillip. Rohit Juglan.
Absolutely, Bodhada. From day one, we were saying that if every team is getting this kind of home advantage, we see, uh, you know, uh, uh, Sunrisers Hyderabad team just getting a complaint done that we are not happy with the pitch. You see the Mullanpur wicket, the Mullapur wicket is completely turned in just one season because Punjab Kings wanted a wicket in certain manner. Punjab, with Mumbai Indians also, Hardik Pandya said certain thing. You never saw other curators, giving that kind of a answer to a IPL franchisee. So Saurav Ganguly was absolutely right because he had played the cricket. He has played cricket with different franchisees. He know that what kind of a conversation going on if you are asking, a captain is asking certain kind of assistance or certain kind of home advantage from a curator. So I think Saurav Ganguly is absolutely right. But on the other part, I think Mahendra Singh Dhoni being the captain again, there's nothing wrong in that. But what's the future then of CSK? What after when Dhoni call it off? That if he is not in the dugout also, then who will lead? Because now it's high time that CSK has to think over ahead of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Because till the time they were only sticking to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, then there will be no other captain or no other leadership material they can get. So it's again a double-edged sword that if you take Mahendra Singh Dhoni captain again, there's no problem in that. But what after Mahendra Singh Dhoni said that goodbye, I want to go. What after that? So CSK have to build this, that who after Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So they did it with Jadeja, didn't went well. Dhoni has to, restart from there again. That Jadeja going, it not ended really well. The equation doesn't really sorted well. After that, they took a complete one season to get out of that controversy. And then now Ruturaj Gaikwad, if again they, they again sidelined Ruturaj Gaikwad from the captaincy's role. Yes, the captaincy has not been, right at there. The changes are very much, they already used 17 members, including the 11 members of the squad. So if you see the champion teams, 2010 to 2020, if you see Mumbai and CSK, one thing which you will find is that they haven't used more than 14 or 15, out of the, including the 11, they haven't used more than 15 players as far as the squad number is concerned. So now only in 5 games they've used 17 players. So I think there is a problem, and but I don't think the solution of the problem is reappoint Mahendra Singh Dhoni as captain.
And I tend to agree with Rohit Juglan in what he said about reappointing MS Dhoni. I don't think that is the solution either. But the other thing that Saurav Ganguly has said, Gargi Raut, react to that. He has said, I know you've got the clip ready, react to this and then play it. He has said that Kolkata Knight Riders should have won against the Lucknow Super Giants with an over to spare. He is right. When Ajinkya Rahane was going 77 needed of 7 overs in a batting belter, 60 of 30 balls, Ajinkya Rahane. They had a Rinku Singh, they had an Andre Russell. Not to win from there was a Kolkata Knight Riders blunder. Strategic faults and all of that. Not so much the pitch. I am absolutely okay with home advantage. But to say that we did not win because we were, we had a poor pitch, perhaps is not fully right. I'm totally okay with KKR getting a home pitch. And that is why I've written a column supporting that, putting out the KKR side. But Ganguly too is right. KKR batting wise, batting order wise, made errors. Gargi Raut, react.
Look, we've always there are two sides to this story when it comes to collaboration between a franchise and a curator. We've always said that the basic collaboration should happen, and that's the point of having a home and away series or a home and away league like the IPL. Every other franchise does it. So if we're talking about basic collaboration, yeah, you should have it. Why not? There should be back channel talks and whatever. There should be some sort of collaboration. But when we talk about that KKR LSG match, let's be honest, KKR lost that match because your top three batters, which is top batters from your middle order, Ankrish Raghuvanshi, Andre Russell, and also I'm missing someone. Ramandeep Singh did not fire. That's why you lost that game. You had three very important batters falling to Akash Deep, Avesh Khan, and Ravi Bishnoi, if I'm not wrong. And that at that point they had the control of the match. And after these 3 wickets, it was done. It was done for KKR. They could have won that match. LSG won that match by a margin of 4 wickets. So when you think of that, Saurav Ganguly is 100% right that KKR should have won that match. And look, your pitch can never be the excuse for winning or losing any game. When you win a game, do you come out and say that this we won this match because of the pitch? No one says that. So why do you always say that when you lose the game? So last game KKR should have won that one. They let that go.
Boss, 1 second. This is the comment of the day. Keith, Bharatji. Are boss, are you stalking him or what? Bharatji, I'm standing behind you only. Turn around and see. I will wave my hand. Bharat, turn around, karo yaar. Wave. This is unbelievable. This is just unbelievable. Oh boy.
Bharat is
Unreal.
scared
Unreal.
now.
Bharat is scared. Somebody is talking Bharat. This is a problem. Having said that, Gargi, can you play the Saurav clip? And I need to go to Rohit and Bharat again.
The captain of CSK. Because MS Dhoni, the captain, is a different beast.
Audio? Any audio?
There was
There
audio.
was
He
there
said
was there was a
there
little
was.
audio because Dhoni
It
as a
is very
captain.
low.
Yeah, because
On the
Shomik is
IPL.
actually. See if
I'll
you get it.
yeah, I'll start it again.
On the IPL, when you see MS Dhoni in the IPL, do you think he still can roll back the years? Number one, and are you in favor of home advantage in the IPL?
MS Dhoni can still hit sixes. We saw that in the other game. Obviously, he's 43 years old. You don't expect to see the MS Dhoni what I saw in 2005. That's quite natural. But I think he's still got the power to clear and hit. I don't know what's in his mindset. I don't know what CSK is thinking. And I saw him play the other day in Punjab, and he did hit a few sixes. And I think with all his experience, all what he's achieved, he understands the game as good as anybody and will do what is right for CSK. And what was your next question?
Are you in favor of home advantage in the IPL?
Yeah, why not? It depends. It depends on how it goes. I know why you're asking, but I don't want to comment on that. But it depends from individual to individual.
So Saurav Ganguly, diplomatic there. I know why you're asking. Shomik Chakraborty was needling, and that's his job to ask. But yes, home advantage. He did say why not. That should be good thing. Music for KKR ears, because you want that to happen. You want that solution. The curator, the president, and of course KKR management need to sit down there and solve that problem. So we will play it. We will play one. Shomik sends us all the details. We will put out. But why not? From Saurav Ganguly on home advantage is a critical one. Moving back to RCB again, Bharat Ramraj. Delhi has had a great start. There are these matchups. KL Rahul versus Josh Hazelwood, for example, is a strong matchup. A Virat Kohli versus perhaps a Kuldeep Yadav or an Akshar Patel, a strong matchup. Set this up for me, Bharat. The Kuldeep Yadav for me is the bowler of the IPL. The bowler of the IPL from an Indian standpoint is Kuldeep Yadav and Mohammad Siraj against Virat Kohli. Set it up for me, Bharat Ramraj, before I go to Rohit.
Yeah, that is going to be an interesting battle. Obviously, Kohli has improved. I think against spin, he has improved his game against spin as far as T20 cricket is concerned over the last 2 seasons. But still, I think has a problem against the Delhi that goes away from him. So if Kuldeep Yadav can use his googly, employ his googly, then I think it could be in some trouble. But in these conditions, whatever I saw when it comes to the pitch conditions, the last game at Chinnaswamy, I don't think it helped the spinners much. So I'm not very sure Kuldeep Yadav will get much out of this track. Yes, Josh Hazelwood and KL Rahul again an interesting, the interesting battle. Josh Hazelwood obviously will get bounced out of these conditions, so he might trouble DC stop order, not just KL Rahul, whoever is playing. Let it be Jake Fraser McGurk, who has been in bad form, or other batters. Even if have to place, he comes out instead of him and opens the innings. So Josh Hazelwood should be useful in these conditions, and I'm expecting RCB to do well in this particular game and perhaps come out on top. Though Chinnaswamy has not been happy and the hunting ground for RCB still after the last games, RCB is sliding down to defeat, I expect them to do well and emerge victorious in this match.
Rohit, the other battle is Mitchell Stark versus Virat Kohli. Maybe Rajat Patidar versus Kuldeep Yadav. Your thoughts on that? Mitchell Stark has bowled beautifully in this IPL. Beautifully. And against Virat Kohli, will they start with a slip? Will they try and exploit that again? Will they put Kohli under pressure? Rohit Juglan.
Buryada, the fact is the stat what I have is that Mitchell Stark haven't dismissed Virat Kohli in a T20 game as of now. So it's again getting into the favor of Virat Kohli that he can score runs. I think one problem where if you see the last two games, forget about the GT game because where there he scored just one boundary and then Mohammad Arshad Khan really did really well against him and then there was a catch in the deep final leg area. But apart from that, if you see the CSK innings where the wicket gripped a bit and he was we saw him struggling. You see his Mumbai Indians innings also, and you see against Mitch Santner, he was trying to hit him really hard. First 16 balls, he scored 36 runs. The next 16 or 18 balls, he scored 24 runs. That is very unlike Virat Kohli because Virat Kohli, when you see him, his natural progression is getting up with the strike rate. As many as ball he's playing, he was just going upwards as far as the strike rate is concerned. But if you see his last innings, he did really well against Pacers because now what he was doing is getting on with the Pacers, with the power play, just maximizing it. But what's happening still against the spinners is that at some point of time, there is some kind of trouble. And the other so it will be interesting to see for me that the high quality spin of Kuldeep Yadav or Akshar Patel, and they have Nigam also, Vipraj Nigam, who's again doing really well. So whether they want to put one of them, at least Akshar Patel in the power play, because Akshar have a lot of experience while bowling to DC when Rishabh was the captain, he was using him quite well, as far as the power play overs are concerned. Or maybe an X factor kind of thing that send in Vipraj Nigam there. They very a very few times they used Kuldeep Yadav. I remember last time around Sunrisers Hyderabad playing against Delhi at the Arun Jaitley Stadium, and they used Kuldeep Yadav in the power play. But it's not few times that you saw Kuldeep Yadav bowling in power play. So maybe a surprising factor of Vipraj Nigam or someone like Akshar Patel himself. He was going with some finger injury also. Last time around he bowled in the very later part of the innings. So we have to see that whether Akshar Patel is completely fit to bowl or not. But one matchup which I really want to see, Krunal Pandya against a Faf du Plessis, because Faf du Plessis' strike rate against a left-arm seamer, Buryada, is really low, somewhere around 120, in the early 120s. So that could be a factor that a Krunal Pandya getting into the power play against an in-form Faf du Plessis who's coming after an injury also. He missed the Chennai Super King games. Now if he'll play. So whether they will open with KL Rahul, who adapted really well at that venue, or they will, shift KL Rahul to 4 and then Faf and JFM start the innings. Multiple questions, but I think the most important matchup for me is Krunal Pandya against, a Faf du Plessis.
I'll say a point on Stark. One point, small point. I think the problem for Stark against Virat Kohli is for a long time he didn't have that delivery that would go away from the right-hander. Only recently has developed that three-quarter seam. If you really want to get Virat Kohli out as a left-arm bowler, you would want him to chasing deliveries outside off because I feel he's someone who always wants to get bat on ball. So Stark didn't have that three-quarter seam delivery. Only recently has developed it. Maybe that will help him to finally get Virat Kohli out in T20 cricket.
Fair point, because if you see Virat Kohli's maximum dismissals outside off, that ball coming in is not a problem. Unlike Rohit Sharma, who has struggled against the left-arm pacer ball coming in, Virat Kohli is excellent. He will put it, through mid-wicket. He can even deposit Mitchell Stark square leg mid-wicket into the stands. And Chinnaswamy, he gets it right, it will be there. So Bharat Ramraj, fair point. But let's take that super chat. The name of the super chat again. I mean, none of my guests will even understand. Rajudar pocket a porota. What the hell, boss? What does this mean? It says किसी का Raju is the name of the guy. उसके pocket में पराठा. अरे boss, कुछ तो sensible नाम दिया करो. Rajudar pocket a porota. কি চলছে ভাই? এগুলো আমি জানি না. এটা কি কেস? Or pocha. This guy apparently used to sell paratha. Now he's become a content maker. I don't know. Very good. So the question is, why KKR versus pitch curator debate heating up? There's no rift. Hello, there should not be any rift. I've given both sides of the story today in my column. Clearly, you understand that it is based on sources from both sides. I have advocated what I think is right, but it is our job to put out both sides of the story and leave it at that. You can decide whoever is right, whether the KKR side is right or the curator is right. That is not for us to say. But yes, that's the answer. Plenty more questions, but Gargi, coming to you, this whole RCB kind of Delhi debate. On the one hand, KL Rahul, Faf du Plessis, last year captain, Rohit Juglan mentioned the importance of Faf du Plessis. How much of this will help Delhi, you reckon? Rahul plays all his cricket there. Faf du Plessis was captain there, knows that franchise inside out. Should all of this help Delhi? Before that, Gargi, Bhole ki Bhakt. Boria sir, when will Mayank Yadav return? 1 week. Almost there. Almost there. Lucknow is very hopeful to get him back ASAP, and they think their entire bowling attack will be back soon. So Mayank Yadav, Avesh Khan, Akash Deep, and Shardul Thakur will be their pace quartet, along with Ravi Bishnoi and Digvesh. So Lucknow is very, very hopeful, from what we understand, that Mayank will be back very shortly. Yes, Gargi, over to you.
Well, when we look at this game, DC versus RCB, you're actually looking at two very, very strong sides that no one really expected them to do well, especially Delhi Capitals. I mean, we still get comments about the fact that we had predicted Delhi to finish somewhere at the bottom of the table, but now they're going hammer and tongs. And I think this is going to be one really good match to watch. But when we talk about the two teams, I think really it is more than the batting, it's going to be a battle of the bowlers. With RCB bowlers are clicking so well. They're ticking the overs. Yash Dayal, Josh Hazelwood, Krunal Pandya, all have been really, really good. And when you put that against a Delhi Capitals, and I think T. Natarajan will also be closing in on 100% fitness in this match. So it will be interesting to see who comes at the top. And the way that RCB have been opening, Virat Kohli, Phil Salt at the top. Last time we didn't get to see that from Phil Salt. He got out very, very early. But the way that they won in Wankhede, I think this is going to be one of the most interesting games to watch.
Okay, Shomik sir can very well talk about the RCB hype, but the Spurs analogy doesn't fit well because Spurs is not as hyped. I agree with this one. Spurs not even close to RCB hype. But when Shomik is on the show, you should ask him that and pitch Shomik versus Gargi. Make it Shomik versus Gargi. That is a battle within a battle. Okay, last round of questions. I'll start with Rohit Juglan. Yaar, prediction ले लो. Is this RCB season? Every year हम लोग ये सवाल पूछते हैं रोहित. हर सीजन में ये RCB का सीजन है. But लग रहा है this is actually a team that can make the playoffs.
Burela, look, in last 18 seasons, there were many occasions when we thought at the very first stage or in first 2 weeks that it's a RCB season. बहुत कुछ सही होना होगा अगर RCB का season ये होना है, to be really honest with you. And we always see that what I said in my 3 PM video also, that वो fortress बनाना पड़ेगा चिन्ना स्वामी को अगर आपको 1-2 में finish करना है. बिकॉज आप अपने बाहर की जो फाइट है वो ऑलमोस्ट आप 3 फाइट्स जीत चुके हो. अब आपको बहुत ज्यादा ट्रैवल नहीं करना है. दे डिडंट हैव टू ट्रैवल मच. आई थिंक एक पंजाब उनको आना है, दिल्ली आना है, जयपुर आना है शायद. दैट्स इट. इससे ज्यादा उन्हें ट्रैवल नहीं करना है. सो इफ यू सी देम मेकिंग चिन्ना स्वामी स्टेडियम देयर फोर्ट्रेस, देन इट विल बी रियली फाइन. तब आप वो 1 और 2 में फिनिश करते हो. इफ आरसीबी फिनिश एट 1 और 2, देन आई से कि भाई बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग चांसेस है. बिकॉज जो 1-2 चीजें इस बार जो और अच्छी देखने को मिली है, दैट्स कि वो अपनी 11 को लेकर के बहुत श्योर है. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है कि आप 4 या 5 गेम हो चुके हैं, आप बहुत अनश्योर नहीं है किसी चीज के बारे में. उनको पता है कि अगर हमें चिन्ना स्वामी खेलना है, रसिक सलाम को खिलाना है, बाहर जाना है, तो इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर के तौर पे सुयश आ जाएगा. दे आर नॉट टिंकरिंग विद स्वप्निल सिंह, जिनको उन्होंने आरटीएम किया था या अपने पास रखा था. उसको उन्होंने अभी तक एक भी गेम नहीं दिया है, और एक कोलकाता से आने वाले लड़के को उन्होंने अभी तक प्रायोरिटी दी है. So they are very clear with their ideas. उनको वो रिजल्ट्स भी दे रहा है. एक मैच जरूर हारे हैं, बट अगेन मैं वो देखना चाहता हूँ, अगर चिन्ना स्वामी आज भी हार जाते हैं वो, तो फिर वही सवाल आ जाएंगे ना कि वो अपने होम ग्राउंड को अपना फोकस नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. So that's really important for me. If they're able to make Chinnaswamy Stadium their fortress, then I think it will be a great chance for them to finish at 1 or 2, which give them 2 opportunities to reach at the final. And then we know final भी वो 3 बार हार चुके हैं IPL के इतिहास में. So until they won it, मैं कुछ नहीं कहूँगा. Like Barcelona last night. जब तक बार्सिलोना UCL उठा नहीं लेती तब तक मैं कुछ नहीं कहूँगा. वैसे RCB जब तक ट्रॉफी नहीं उठा लेती कुछ नहीं कहूँगा.
दिस इज अ वेरी बायस पैनल. ये रोहित जुगलान भी गार्गी और भरत रामराज के तरफ है क्लियरली. ये सब आरसीबी फैंस है. त्रिशा को लाना चाहिए था. इट वुड हैव बीन अ कंप्लीट पैनल. रोहित इज नॉट वांटिंग टू जिंक्स. गार्गी तो ऑब्वियसली डाई हार्ड एट आरसीबी. भरत रामराज ऑब्वियसली फ्रॉम बेंगलुरु क्लियर आरसीबी. यार गार्गी, कम ऑन, गिव मी अ सेंस. Are you hopeful for the sake of it, or what is going on? Because Rohit to is totally on this RCB trend now. I don't want to jinx. मैं नहीं बोलूंगा. This is very unlike Rohit Chuglan. Stand ले लेता है, but RCB के लिए नहीं ले रहा है. Clearly wants RCB to win. Nice, very nice.
Look.
But 1 second. Loads of KKR questions, folks. Tomorrow is KKR versus CSK. All of us, and we have already planned a special show at 12 noon. We will take all this. Russell, Nareen, pitch, should they play, batting order, ये कल सब लेंगे. अभी के लिए RCB last 5 minutes on the show. Yes, Gargi Rao.
Yes, so we before this IPL season started, I said that RCB wouldn't even make it to the playoffs, and I would like to stick to that because I don't want to jinx them.
Yeah, you also don't want to speak.
No.
All of my people have gagged themselves. Bharat Ramraj, do you want to take a position?
Gargi is playing Uno reverse.
Yeah, see, what I would say about RCB is they have some kind of a winning mentality which I have not seen before. Even in that game against Mumbai Indians, at one point of time, the way Hardik Pandya was hitting RCB of the past, I've seen teams from RCB who have lost from that position. But this team somehow held their nerve in front of a sea of blue. So I feel that this RCB side has that winning mentality. So somewhere my gut feel also is saying maybe this is the season where RCB are going to go all the way. But then I don't know. But I feel like that. My gut feel is saying that because Andy Flower rarely fails. Wherever he goes, he rarely fails as a coach in franchise cricket as well. So if RCB are going to triumph, I think it is under Andy Flower. Otherwise, it may happen in somewhere in 2052.
Arey baapre. Bharat Ramraj has made Andy Flower an absolute god. Completely. Bharat Ramraj is always Andy Flower biased. He and I have had multiple discussions in our work group. We will see what happens with that. Gargi, there's a quick super chat before I close with one question to all of you on Rajat Patidar. Can you quickly take the super chat? People are being critical of Dhoni for not playing the same not shot, against Lockie Ferguson in the semi-final. Want everyone's opinion on this? How can someone on earth think? Hello, you don't need anyone's opinion. Whoever is saying this is an idiot. End of story. Simple. We want to put this loud and clear. If anyone is doubting MS Dhoni's intent in that World Cup semi-final, they don't know their cricket, and we do not want to engage with such foolishness on our show. I hope we have answered this question loud and clear, and I can speak on behalf of all my colleagues here. To doubt MS Dhoni in that World Cup semi-final is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Rohit Juglan, final question to you. Rajat Patidar, it is time to celebrate that guy. Rohit.
Yes, Bureda, as in batter also, he really worked in his game against pacers also. He was so brilliant against spinners. We saw last time again that, his hitting abilities, the way he approaches against spinners. And that's why it will be an important matchup that whether Kuldeep or Akshar come in front of him and, let's see that who can win that battle, because it was then best versus best. A best spinner till now, as far as this IPL is concerned, and the best batter specifically versus pacers. So as a batter and then as a leader, I remember this, what he did against the Mumbai Indians was using Bhuvi Kumar and Josh Hazelwood at 18th and 19th over and let Krunal bowl the 20th over, knowing that Namandir was still there and Hardik Pandya was really there. So what if they have played the Hazelwood over, and we all know that how Hardik Pandya played that Hazelwood over just before that. So he turned around the game in that very before over, and then, Hazelwood picking up his wicket, then the Namandir wicket, then that brilliant catch by Phil Salt. So, taking this risk already giving you a positive mindset that that guy was thinking about that 20th ओवर तक तो गेम जाएगा ही नहीं, मेरे ये दो बॉलर्स बेस्ट बैट है और ये 19th ओवर तक ही खत्म कर देंगे. That is very rare from, seeing this from RCB. That kind of positive mindset. एक फंसे हुए गेम में जो भारत ने कहा कि बॉटल कर देते थे इस तरह के चेज को, कैच छोड़ देते थे, स्ट्रैटेजी इधर से उधर हो जाती थी. एंड आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट विराट कोहली कैप्टनसी, इवन फाफ कैप्टनसी, डेनियल विटोरी, किसी की भी कैप्टनसी आप देखो, they bottle these kind of chases. But what happened at Wankhede Stadium, I think that shows you कि राजत पाटीदार स्ट्रैटेजिकली भी कितने साउंड है. और अगर उनकी ये पारियां आती रहती हैं, मैं इस बात से इनकार नहीं करूंगा कि T20 वर्ल्ड कप नंबर 3 पोजीशन, ही इज अ स्ट्रेट कॉम्पिटिटर टू तिलक वर्मा.
Quick answer before I close with Bharat Ramraj. Quick answer, Rajat Patidar. I think Rohit Juglan spot on. He has to get a spot in the Indian side. He will start to push. Gargi, before I close with Bharat.
I think one of the most impressive things about Rajat Patidar is first how he navigates the top order, how he navigates the initial overs, but also something that we have been missing in the Indian lineup when it comes to batting, especially is batting against spin. And Rajat Patidar doing that so well. I think in international cricket, that's what we've been missing. Even when we talk about overseas tours, we have been missing. We thought it would be Shreyas Iyer for a while. We thought it would be Shreyas Iyer who would come in and sort of play that role of negating the spinners, but clearly that did not work out. Whatever went down with Shreyas Iyer went down. But at the same time, right now, with the way that Rajat Patidar is performing, you need to get him back in the team, get him back in India.
Bharat Ramraj.
Yeah, see, the one thing I would add about Rajat Patidar is I think he's also a good player of pace, not just against spin. I think he's a formidable player of pace because even if you go back in time to 2017, I remember one Vijay Hazare Trophy game, he was absolutely spanking Mohammad Shami, and Mohammad Shami in 2017 had obviously played enough international cricket, so he's a good player of pace as well. Even in the IPL, he looked good against Mayank Yadav before he tried to absolutely hook him and got out. That was obviously a typical Rajat Patidar shot because it sometimes maybe tries too much or too many shots or takes too many risks. But still, he's a fine player of pace, I would say. And as far as his captaincy is concerned, I think he's a brave captain. We saw it in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy as well. I think he led the MP really well, not just with a bat, but also as a captain, took them to the final where he played a really good knock under pressure before they finally ended up losing. So what he did with Krunal Pandya and Josh Hazlewood in the last 2 overs doesn't really surprise me because I think he's a gutsy captain who backs his gut feel.
Big match coming up then. Delhi versus RCB. Some says Arvind says whoever wins today will win the title. We will see 1.5 months later. But for now, that's all we have. 50 minutes from now, Gargi Raut back with the pre-match show with her guests Bharat Ramraj, Rohit Juglan, Gargi Raut, and of course everyone watching. It's RCB versus DC tonight. KL Rahul back in his home ground versus a Virat Kohli. And as I said, Mitchell Stark versus Kohli, Kuldeep versus Rajat Patidar. There are battles within battles. We've got to see what happens. Anyone who's a football fan, plenty coming up on Rev Sports Bangla at 6 p.m. and a big interview with the Mohun Bagan captain building up to the Indian Super League final. That's for tomorrow. Keep watching.